Ethan opened his eyes slowly. The room was quiet and dim. He was lying in a soft bed with a small monitor beside him. It showed slow green waves. His arm was bandaged, and a dull ache pulsed in his veins. He tried to sit up but felt weak. Lyra entered the room and quickly walked to his side. She gently helped him sit. "You gave too much," she said. "You've been asleep for almost 2 days." Ethan rubbed his face. "How many people did we help?" "More than 300, Lyra said. "The new samples were enough to make strong doses. The sickness is slowing." Ethan nodded, relieved. "Good. You must rest more," she added. "We cannot lose you." Ethan smiled weakly. "I didn't think I'd become important to an alien race." Lyra gave a small laugh. "You became important the moment you said yes." A soft tone came from the door. One of the royal guards stepped in and saluted. "The Queen requests your presence," he said. Lyra looked unsure. "He's still weak." "I'll go," Ethan said. Lyra helped him stand, and they walked slowly through the ship's inner halls. The guards stayed close, silent but alert. The Queen's private chamber was calm, lit with soft light. She stood near a large screen that showed the surface of the planet below. "You are awake," she said, turning toward him. Ethan nodded. "Barely." She studied him for a moment. "I'm sorry for what the nobles did." "I failed to protect what?" "You gave. You didn't fail," Ethan said. "You stopped them before it was too late." She nodded slowly. "Still, this shows us that some will always resist change." He stepped forward. "What do you want to do next?" The Queen turned back to the screen. "There are more planets in our system. Some still suffer. We must send the cure to them. Then, we need to make more," Ethan said. "But I won't be able to give like that again for a while." "We understand," she said. "But our scientists are close. They are working to copy your blood's special protein. If they succeed, we may no longer need direct samples." Ethan smiled. "That's good news." The Queen stepped closer. Her voice was quiet. "There is something else I must ask you." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Another favor?" She gave a small smile. "Not exactly. I want you to join our council." As a representative, Ethan was surprised. "Me? Why?" "You have already spoken before the nobles and the people. You have shown wisdom, courage, and heart. That is what we need." Ethan shook his head slowly. "I'm not a leader." "You are more than that," the Queen said. "You are proof that trust between species is possible." He looked out the window. The stars stretched far, so many and endless. Earth was somewhere out there, far from this place. He missed it, but he also knew something had changed in him. "What would I do on the council?" he asked. "You will help guide decisions," the Queen said, "especially those that involve humans. You know your kind better than we do." "I haven't been home in a long time," Ethan said. "I don't even know if they think I'm alive." "Then let us help you send a message," she offered. Ethan thought for a moment. "All right, I'll do it." The Queen nodded. "You honor us." The news spread fast. A human had joined the Queen's council. Many aliens celebrated. Some doubted, but Ethan stayed calm. He worked closely with Lyra and the scientists, helping build more peaceful ties between humans and aliens. A week later, a small ship left. The Queen's fleet. It carried a message beacon aimed toward Earth. Inside was Ethan's message, short and clear. "To any human ships who hear this, I'm alive. I'm with a race that once feared us, but now needs our help. I gave them my blood, and they gave me their trust. I'm no longer just a visitor here. I have a role. If you hear this, tell Earth not to be afraid." After the message was sent, Ethan stood in the garden near the center of the ship. The air smelled like sweet fruit and soft rain. Lyra joined him. "Do you miss home?" she asked. "Sometimes," Ethan said. "But this place, it feels right now." "Would you go back if they found you?" she asked. "I'm not sure," Ethan said. "But if I did, I want to return here too. Lyra smiled. You are part of both worlds now. They walked along the path. A group of alien children waved at Ethan. One ran up and handed him a small glowing flower. For saving my mama, the child said. Ethan knelt and took the flower. You're welcome. Lyra watched him quietly. You become more than just a helper. You're becoming hope. Ethan stood. I'm just a guy who crashed in the wrong place. Or the right place, Lyra said. That night, the Queen called a special meeting. All nobles were present. The Queen stood with Ethan beside her. We began with fear, she said. But fear is not how we will live. This human gave us his blood to save our people. And now we offer him our hand. The nobles stood. They bowed to Ethan, one by one, even those who had once doubted him. Ethan bowed slightly in return. After the meeting, the Queen spoke to him in private. You've done more than you know, she said. There is peace now because of your choice. Ethan looked at her. And what happens next? We rebuild, she said. We heal. And we plan for a future where your people and mine are not strangers. Ethan smiled. Sounds like a good future. The Queen nodded. It begins now. And as Ethan looked out once more at the stars, he realized that maybe his journey hadn't taken him away from his path. Maybe this was his path. Ethan walked through the long glass corridor with Lyra by his side. The corridor curved gently around the outer ring of the ship, and the view of space outside was wide and peaceful. A planet below the ship glowed softly, its surface covered in green clouds and rivers of light. I still can't believe they listened to me, Ethan said. They listened because you spoke with truth, Lyra said. That matters more than power. Ethan nodded, but something inside him still felt uneasy. The nobles didn't look happy when they agreed to the Queen's words. Some looked like they were just waiting. I don't think it's over yet, he said. It's not, Lyra said. But you opened a door. That's a beginning. They stopped near a wide platform where small ships flew in and out. Lyra pointed to a silver shuttle. That will take us to the surface, she said. There's something the Queen wants you to see. Ethan raised an eyebrow. The planet? Lyra smiled. Yes, it's where the first outbreak began. The shuttle was small and quiet inside. 2 alien pilots sat in front, and the windows gave Ethan a full view of the ship as it shrank behind them. The planet below grew larger, its blue and green surface stretching far and wide. They landed near a large building made of smooth stone and light. Trees with silver leaves moved in the wind around them. The air was warm and smelled sweet. This place is called Selena, Lyra said. It was once a city of learning and music. Ethan looked around. It's quiet now. Most of the people left, Lyra said. The disease spread fast here. Many died. They entered the building. Inside were long halls filled with strange machines and quiet rooms. In one room, Ethan saw beds filled with recovering patients. A nurse bowed as they passed. These are the ones cured first, Lyra said. They are getting stronger every day. One patient, a boy with large green eyes, sat up and smiled at Ethan. That's him, the boy said. The human. Ethan walked over and knelt beside the bed. How do you feel? Better, the boy said. I can breathe again. Ethan smiled. I'm glad. Lyra watched quietly. When they left the room, she said, they speak of you. Now, they call you the Red Hope. I'm just a man who gave blood, Ethan said. No, Lyra said. You gave more than that. You gave us time. Later, they stood near a wide balcony that looked over the forest. The sky above was bright and full of color. You see the beauty here? Lyra asked. Yes, Ethan said. It's like nothing I've ever seen. We almost lost it all, she said. Now we have a chance to save it. A sharp sound came from her communicator. She touched it and listened. Her face changed. What is it? Ethan asked. There's been an attack, she said. On the main lab ship. Ethan's heart jumped. What? We need to go back. Now. The shuttle took off fast. The pilots pushed the engines harder than before. Ethan's hands tightened on the seat as the ship raced back toward the Queen's vessel. When they landed, the halls were filled with movement. Guards ran past, weapons ready. The lights flashed red. Lyra led Ethan toward the medical section. Smoke hung in the air. One of the labs was damaged. A guard pulled Lyra aside and whispered something. Her eyes grew wide. Sabotage, she said. Someone destroyed the blood samples. Ethan stepped back. All of them? Yes, she said. The cure is lost. Only the ones already treated will survive. Ethan felt like the air had been knocked from his chest. Who would do this? The nobles who feared you, she said. They didn't want us to depend on you. They believed that the cure failed. No one would listen to you again. Ethan clenched his fists. How many people are going to die? Now because of that? Too many, Lyra said quietly. Unless we can make more. They rushed to the Queen's chamber. She stood with her advisors, her face hard and cold. When she saw Ethan, her expression changed slightly. They destroyed the gift, she said. I'll give more, Ethan said. As much as I can. The Queen nodded. We will need to protect you this time. Guards were placed around Ethan. A new lab was set up, deeper inside the ship where no one could reach it without passing several locked gates. Lyra worked with other scientists, taking blood samples and running tests. Ethan gave more than he had before. It left him tired, but he didn't stop. You must rest, Lyra said one evening. Your body needs time. I'll rest when they're safe, he said. That night, someone tried to break into the new lab, but the guards stopped them. The next morning, the Queen called a meeting of all nobles. Ethan stood beside her as she spoke. Some of you tried to stop the cure, she said. You chose fear over hope. The nobles sat in silence. I gave the human my word, she continued, and he kept his. He gave again even after your betrayal. Ethan stepped forward. I'm not your enemy. I never was. The chamber was quiet for a long time. Then slowly, one of the nobles stood. It was the older one with the white crest. I was wrong, he said, and I am sorry. More nobles stood with him. One by one, they offered their apology. Some did not, but they said nothing. The Queen looked at Ethan. You have changed us. I didn't mean to, he said. But I'm glad I did. The Queen nodded. You are no longer just a guest on this ship. You are part of our future now. Ethan felt the weight of those words. He knew it wasn't over yet, but it was a step, and steps could change the path of a whole world. Ethan stood at the large window in his room, looking out into space. The stars didn't blink. They burned quietly, far away from the strange ship he was now part of. His reflection looked back at him, but he barely noticed it. All he could think about were the lives that had been saved because of his blood. A soft knock came. The door opened, and this time it was not the guards. It was the Queen herself. She stepped in, her long robe trailing behind her. She stood tall, but her voice was soft. I wanted to see you alone, she said. May I sit? Ethan nodded and motioned to the seat across from him. The Queen sat, folding her hands in her lap. Many have recovered. Lyra's sister is walking. Again, we have shared the cure with 5 of our cities. Ethan nodded. That's good. I'm glad it helped. She looked at him carefully. You do not ask for reward. That is rare among beings we have met. I didn't do it for reward. Ethan said, I did it because I could help. You are unlike most, she said, and that makes you dangerous to some. Ethan frowned. Dangerous? Why? The Queen paused before speaking. There are those in my court who see your presence as a threat. They do not trust humans. They believe we should not depend on your blood to survive. I didn't force. You two, he said. No, she agreed. You didn't, but fear does not need reason, Ethan crossed his arms. What are they planning? They speak of removing you, quietly. Ethan stood up, his heart beating fast. You mean, kill me? The Queen stood as well. I will not allow that, but I cannot hold them back forever. Why tell me this? He asked. Because you must be careful. And because I want you to help me change their minds. Ethan looked at her in surprise. Me? What can I do? Let them see you not as a creature from a far world, but as a man with a heart, she said. Let them speak with you. Let them see the truth with their own eyes. He thought for a moment. You want me to talk to them? Yes, she said. There will be a gathering in 2 days. You will attend. Speak for yourself. I'm not a diplomat, Ethan said. No, she said. You are something better. You are honest, Ethan sighed. He knew this wasn't going to be easy, but he also knew he couldn't say no. He nodded. All right, I'll do it. The Queen gave a small smile. Thank you. She left the room without another word. Later that day, Lyra visited. She brought a tray of warm food and sat with him while he ate. You're going to speak at the High Chamber? She asked. Yeah, Ethan said. Your queen asked me. You will face nobles who have hated humans for years, Lyra warned. They will test your words. I figured, Ethan said with a small smile. Any advice? Lyra thought for a second. Don't speak like a soldier. Speak like the man who saved my sister. The next 2 days passed slowly. Ethan was allowed to walk in certain parts of the ship. He saw gardens filled with glowing plants and fountains that sang like music. Alien children ran through the paths, laughing. It reminded him of Earth in strange ways. When the day of the gathering came, he wore a simple black suit given to him by the Queen's staff. It was smooth, with silver lines that matched the style of the alien court. The guards walked with him to the High Chamber. It was large, with a glass roof showing the stars above. A circle of nobles sat in seats that floated in the air. Each one wore robes of different colors. They looked down at Ethan as he entered. The Queen sat at the highest point, quiet but powerful. A noble with silver skin spoke first. This is the human? Ethan stepped into the center of the chamber. My name is Ethan Cole. Another noble, this one older and with a long white crest on his head, asked, Do you know what you've done? I gave blood to save lives, Ethan said, and now we depend on you. Another noble said coldly, What if you turn against us? Ethan looked around the chamber. I didn't come here on purpose. I was pulled in. I was alone. You could have left me to die, but you didn't. And when I saw people suffering, I chose to help. But you are one man, the older noble said. You cannot be trusted forever. I didn't ask for trust, Ethan said. I asked for a chance, and I gave you one too. There was silence. The Queen looked down from her seat. Do you still believe he is a threat? Another noble stood. She wore blue and had golden marks across her face. He gave freely. His blood saved my son. I no longer doubt his heart. Others murmured. The older noble still frowned. What if more blood is needed? Ethan took a deep breath. Then asked me. Don't take. Don't threaten. Just ask. Another. Silence followed. Finally, the Queen stood. Let this be our new path. One of asking, one of trust. Slowly, the nobles began to nod. Ethan stood quietly as the chamber changed. The fear didn't vanish, but something new began to grow. After the meeting, the Queen approached him. You changed something today, she said. I hope it stays changed, Ethan replied. It will, she said, if we walk forward together. He nodded. Then let's walk. And they did. Ethan sat on a soft bench inside the small room they had given him. It looked more like a guest room than a prison cell, but the door is still locked from the outside. The walls glowed with gentle light, and a low hum filled the air. He had been thinking for hours, and his thoughts were still not clear. He stared at his hand. The idea that his blood could save an entire alien race felt too big, too strange. He was just a pilot, not a hero, not a scientist. He didn't even know if they were telling the truth. A soft knock came from the door. It opened, and a young alien stepped inside. She was shorter than the queen and wore a white robe. Her skin was a lighter shade of purple, and her eyes were wide and kind. "My name is Lyra," she said. "I work in the queen's medical chambers." Ethan nodded slowly. "You're a doctor?" "Yes," she said. "I studied human biology for many years. I never thought I would meet one in person." She walked over and gently placed a round object on the table. It lit up and showed a picture of a sick alien child lying in a bed. The child looked very thin. Strange tubes came from her arms, and her chest moved weakly. "She is my sister," Lyra said. "She has only a few days left, unless we find the cure." Ethan stared at the image. "I'm sorry." Lyra looked at him. "I know this is hard. You did not ask for this. But you are here now. You have something we need." Ethan sighed. "You tested my blood already, right? What did you find?" Lyra sat across from him. "Your blood has something we don't fully understand. We call it the red gift. It reacts with our cells and helps repair the damage from the poison." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "But you don't know why?" "No," she said honestly. "But it worked in a small test. One of our sick recovered a little after being given a tiny sample." "You mean someone got better?" "Yes, for the first time in weeks." Ethan rubbed his forehead. "What if I give you more and something goes wrong?" Lyra lowered her voice. "We will be careful. You will not be harmed." He looked into her eyes and saw no lies. "Just hope. Why not ask other humans?" he asked. "Why just me?" Lyra shook her head. "You are the first human we've ever met in person. Our ships do not travel far, and your kind avoid our space." Ethan leaned back. He was silent for a while. Then he spoke softly. "When I was young, my sister got sick. She had a blood disease. My parents gave blood every week to help her." "Did she survive?" Lyra asked. "Yes," Ethan said. "She did." Lyra stood up slowly. "I hope you think about it." She left the room, and the door closed behind her. Ethan looked at the glowing image of Lyra's sister again. Then he closed his eyes and leaned against the wall. He didn't sleep well. His dreams were full of faces, human and alien. Some were dying. Some were watching him, waiting. The next morning, the door opened again. This time, 2 guards stood outside. One of them spoke. "The Queen wishes to speak to you." Ethan followed them through the long halls. Everything was quiet, and the air smelled faintly sweet. When he entered the Queen's chamber again, she was already standing on the crystal platform. She looked at him with calm eyes. "Have you decided?" Ethan stepped forward. "I'll do it. I'll give my blood." The Queen nodded slowly. "You have made a brave choice, human." Ethan lifted a hand. "But I have conditions." The guards tensed, but the Queen raised a hand to stop them. "Speak. I want to see where it goes," he said. "I want to know what happens to it. And if it really helps people, I want to see them get better." "You asked for honesty?" The Queen said. "That is fair. And I don't want to be a lab rat," Ethan added. "I helped once. If you want more later, you ask." The Queen gave a small smile. "You have my word." Lyra entered the room then, carrying a small silver box. Inside were tools that looked like soft needles and strange vials. "May I?" she asked. Ethan nodded and sat on a low bench. He held out his arm. Lyra moved gently, carefully. The needle didn't even hurt. A small vial filled with deep red blood. Then another. Then one more. 3 is enough for now, Lyra said. Ethan stood and looked at the Queen. "What now?" "Now? We hope," she said. Lyra left quickly with the samples, and the Queen asked the guards to take Ethan back to his room. Hours passed. Then a full day. Ethan paced the room again and again. No one came. Then, just before he fell asleep, the door opened again. Lyra entered. her face bright with emotion. "It worked," she said. Ethan sat up. "What?" My sister opened her eyes. She spoke. Her color came back. "Others are showing signs of healing too." Ethan stared at her. "It really worked?" "Yes," she said. "The red gift is real." He didn't know what to say. A deep feeling filled his chest. He had saved lives of people. He didn't. Even though. Lyra stepped forward. "The Queen will come to speak with you soon, but I wanted you to know first." He smiled for the first time since coming on the ship. "Thank you for telling me." Lyra nodded and left. Ethan lay back and stared at the ceiling. He wasn't sure what came next, but for now, he had done something good, something big. And he knew this was only the beginning. Ethan stood alone in the silver hallway of the alien ship. The walls pulsed faintly with light, almost like they were breathing. He held his hands behind his back, trying to stay calm. It had only been 2 days since his small scout shuttle had been pulled into a strange gravitational field and dragged into this unknown vessel. Now, he was no longer a soldier or an explorer. He was something else. A guest? A prisoner? He didn't know. The guards who brought him here were tall, with pale blue armor and long limbs. They didn't speak. Their helmets covered their faces completely, but their movements were quick and smooth, like dancers. They didn't harm him, but they never left him alone either. The door in front of him opened with a low hum. One of the guards motioned with a long, thin arm. "Walk forward." The voice came through a translator. The voice was calm, but Ethan felt his heart beat faster. He walked slowly into the large chamber. It was round, with a high ceiling that looked like a night sky filled with stars. In the center was a platform made of shining crystal, and on that platform stood the alien queen. She was tall, even taller than the guards. Her skin was soft purple, with pale lines glowing across it, like gentle lightning under her skin. Her eyes were large and shining, and her hair moved slowly like it floated in water. She wore a robe that shimmered like moonlight. Ethan stopped, several feet away from her. She looked at him without blinking. "So," she said softly. Her voice didn't come from her mouth. It echoed in the room, translated perfectly into English. "You are the human they pulled from the stars." Ethan nodded once. "Yes, my name is Ethan Cole." She stepped closer. "I know who you are. I watched the recordings. You helped repair your broken ship with only 1 tool and 2 fingers bleeding." "I had to survive," Ethan said. "You are strong for your species," the Queen said. "But I did not bring you here to praise you." Ethan stood still. His legs felt heavy. He had no weapon, no allies, and no idea what she wanted. "I need your blood," the Queen said suddenly. Her voice was calm, almost gentle. Ethan's eyes widened. "Excuse me? You heard me." She stepped even closer. The glow of her skin made him feel warmer. "I need your blood." Ethan took a step back. "Why?" The Queen raised one hand. The guards moved closer, but she stopped them with emotion. "Do not fear. I will not take it by force. Not yet." Ethan felt cold sweat on his neck. "You? Want my blood? For what? Some kind of experiment? No." Her eyes softened. "To save lives." He stared at her. "What?" "My people are dying," she said. "We were poisoned by a weapon one we do not understand. Our immune systems are failing. Every day more fall into sleep and do not wake up." Ethan frowned. "That's terrible. But how can my blood help?" The Queen looked away for a moment, then back at him. "One of our scientists tested your blood when you were unconscious. It has a protein something that can fight the poison, something we do not have." "You tested my blood without asking?" He said. "Yes," she answered simply. "We had to know." Ethan didn't know what to say. His stomach felt tight. He was angry, but also confused. "And now you want more of it?" "Yes," she said. "We believe your blood can be used to make a cure, not just for 1 or 2, for all." Ethan shook his head slowly. "You don't know that. It might not even work." Perhaps, she agreed, but we have nothing else. He looked around the chamber. It was clean, bright, and beautiful. But he could feel the pain behind her calm words. He believed her. Said you wouldn't take it by force, he said. But what if I say no? The queen's eyes closed. She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, then I will watch more of my people die, including the young, including my own family. Ethan didn't move. Her words hit him hard. I will not force you, she said again. But I ask you, human, would you give us this chance? Ethan thought about his own people, his mission, the war back home, the years of fear between humans and alien races. But he also thought about the children, the sick, the innocent. He had lost people too. I need time, he said quietly. You have 1 day, she replied. Then I will ask again. She turned and walked away, leaving him alone in the large chamber. As he stood there, heart pounding, he knew this wasn't just about blood. This was about trust, survival, and something deeper. He was just one man. But maybe, here in this strange place, he was the one who could change everything. The day of the Grand Peace Festival finally arrived. The palace was alive with color, music, and people from every part of the empire. Alex woke up early, feeling a mix of nervousness and hope. He dressed in the clothes given to him by the Empress robes, the same color as the royal families, a sign that he was accepted as one of them. Alex walked out onto the palace balcony and looked at the city below. He could see banners waving in the morning sun and hear the laughter of children playing in the streets. Lyra joined him and smiled. Today will be a special day, Alex. All our hard work is for this. Alex nodded. I hope everything goes. Well, I want to show everyone that we can all live together in peace. Soon, Alex and Lyra walked to the great hall where the festival would begin. There were hundreds of guests. Some were humans, many were from other worlds, and all wore bright clothes for the celebration. The Empress stood at the front, her voice calm and full of strength as she welcomed everyone. Alex's job was to greet the leaders and help guide them through the day. He moved from group to group, making sure everyone felt included. Some of the alien leaders still looked at him with doubt, but most were polite. The children ran up to Alex, asking him to play games and tell stories. He felt nervous, but there. Smiles gave him courage. When the music started, Alex watched as dancers from different worlds moved together. The crowd cheered. Lyra joined Alex and whispered, This is what I dreamed. People from all places, together. Alex nodded. Me too. I never thought I would see something like this. As the festival continued, Alex saw the Empress speaking with some of the counselors. They looked serious, and Alex wondered what they were talking about. Suddenly, a group of nobles who had always been against Alex walked toward him. Their faces were hard and cold. One of them spoke in a loud voice, so everyone could hear. Why should a human stand beside our princess? This is our empire, not Earth. He does not belong here. For a moment, the music stopped and the hall grew quiet. Everyone looked at Alex, waiting for his answer. He felt fear, but he remembered what Lyra had taught him, to speak with honesty and kindness. Alex stepped forward and said, I am not. From your world, I know I am different, but I love your people and your ways. I want to help. I want to learn. I hope you can see that I am here to bring peace, not to change your world or take anything away. I stand with Lyra because I care about her, and I care about all of you. The Empress stood beside Alex. She said, Alex has passed every test we gave him. He has shown wisdom, courage, and kindness. He is a friend to our people. Today, let you celebrate what we have in common, not what makes us different. Some of the crowd cheered. A few nobles turned away, angry, but most people nodded. The music began again, and the festival continued. As the sun moved higher, Alex was given a special task. The Empress asked him to plant a tree in the palace garden. The tree was a symbol of unity, a new tradition that showed hope for the future. Alex and Lyra took the tree together and planted it in the earth as people watched. Lyra spoke softly. "This tree will grow and remind us that peace is possible if we work together." After the ceremony, Alex and Lyra walked through the festival, meeting people from all over the Empire. They tried food from other worlds, listened to new songs, and watched amazing performances. For the first time, Alex saw humans and aliens, laughing together, sharing stories and hopes for the future. But as the festival reached its high point, trouble found them again. A group of angry nobles gathered in the shadows, their faces full of hate. They whispered plans to cause chaos and turn the people against Alex and Lyra. One of them slipped away and started spreading lies among the guests, saying that Alex's plan to make humans rule the Empire. Some guests began to worry. Whispers spread like fire. A few people looked at Alex with doubt and even fear. The Empress heard the rumors and asked Alex to come to her. She said, "You must speak to the people. Tell them the truth before fear takes over." Alex's heart raced, but he knew she was right. He walked to the front of the great hall and stood before the crowd. Lyra stood by his side. He spoke clearly. "I know there are rumors about me. I promise you, I do not want to rule your empire or change your ways. I am here because I care about Lyra and about all of you. I want peace. I want friendship between our worlds." He looked at the worried faces and said, "If you give me a chance, I will show you I can be your friend. I want to help, not harm." Lyra spoke too. "Alex is honest and brave. He risked his life to save me. He faced every trial with honor. I ask you to trust him as I do." A silence filled the hall. Then a young alien girl stepped forward and said, "Alex helped my brother when he was sick. He is kind." A human worker shouted, "Alex always treats us with respect." Little by little, voices joined in support. The crowd began to cheer. The Empress smiled, and the music started again. The angry nobles slipped away, knowing their plan had failed. Alex felt relief, but he also knew he would have to prove himself again and again. Change was slow, and trust had to be earned each day. As night fell, fireworks filled the sky. Alex and Lyra stood together, watching the lights. Lyra whispered, "You did it, Alex. You showed them your heart." Alex smiled. "We did it, Lyra." Together. But deep in the palace, the nobles who wanted to stop them still whispered in the dark. The story was not finished. There will be more challenges ahead. But for this night, Alex and Lyra felt hope, and the people of the Empire celebrated as one.